Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to Shelf Stories, the YouTube channel that tells tales of games, books, and life. I am your host, Jason. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is the inaugural episode of my YouTube channel, episode 0, I'm calling it, where I'm going to present a little bit of a thesis statement on what this channel is all about and what I'm going to present to you. I used to be the host of the Every Night is Game Night podcast on the Dice Tower Network. You might know me from the Dice Tower Network if you listen to that. Or if you're in the solo and co-op lover space as a gamer, you may have heard my content as well. I put the podcast on pause a couple of months ago, but I wanted to kick something up and I didn't want to do the same old thing. This YouTube channel is to challenge myself. I want to broaden my horizons, make new stuff, and also make better connections with you guys. I mean, just YouTube, you can see my face, and you can see my games. I'm hoping to feature a whole bunch of stuff, take what I did in the podcast and really blow it out. So I'm really looking forward to what this channel could offer and what kind of feedback and interaction I'm going to have with you. So, what am I doing here with this YouTube channel? How is it going to distinguish itself from others? So, my tagline is Tales from Games, Books, and Life. This is games. This is a gaming channel. You see my shelf. I got more games over there, and I got games coming in all the time. That's going to be the meat and potatoes of this channel, which is featuring games, featuring playthroughs, reviews, features, whatever content I could come up with. What is my angle? My angle is enthusiasm. My angle is immersion. I am a role player at heart. Any game that you bring, whether it's the most richly thematic game, which I'm really looking forward to getting some of that to the table, or even, something that's a little bit abstract or a little bit Euro-y, if I'm going to put the theme in there. If it's a thematic game, great, but if it's not thematic, I'm going to put it in there. I have a couple of playthroughs as an example of the kind of enthusiasm and immersion I'm going to bring. Every game can tell a story, and I'm hoping to highlight some of those stories that make you laugh, make you cry, all that good stuff I'm hoping to highlight on this channel. Second thing I want to do, I'm calling it books, but it also extends to the video games, TV shows. There's a lot of interaction. The borders are porous between board gaming and, some of the other things that we enjoy. I'm looking at my shelf. I see games based on novels. I see games have some TV show IPs. We're gamers, but we're also geeks, and we like our shows. And what I wanted to do is from the ground up build a channel that highlighted some of the background stuff of the games and the IPs that we enjoy. So maybe, you encountered something and you're wondering, should I pick up that book? Or should I, watch this? I've heard so much about this Netflix show. How do I know if I'm going to get into it? I would like to, present little 5 to 10 minute videos, just kind of summing it up, telling you what I think, and maybe highlight some ways that, some things that you may not have thought of in terms of your own entertainment. Get some people on here and geek out about some of our favorite books and movies and all that kind of thing. That won't get started for a little bit. I want to try to get my gaming chops going, some other things too. But I do want to feature some of that stuff eventually. The last thing is life. I am a mental health therapist in real life, as listeners of Every Night is Game Night would know. And I like to produce content that to help. There's people that struggle with stuff, anxiety, depression, and everything. But not to wallow in it, not to be depressing. I'm a really positive guy. I'm a compassionate guy, and I dedicate my life to this stuff. Dedicate my life to helping, bringing light, bringing new perspective. If you could change your mind, you could change the world. And I'm going to make some videos that answer to that as well, just like I did on the podcast side of things. Along with the mental health stuff, I'm also going to open up some other things, like history. I'm a big history buff. History has the word story in it, so that's me and Liz Davidson are going to have some fun with that. And the last thing is, some people might not like this, but that's okay. That's why I'm warning y'all ahead of time. I am a plugged-in person. I'm a social worker. I'm in the thick of a lot of the different debates that are happening in our culture, and I think that I would like to create a space where we can talk about this stuff, and it doesn't devolve into flame, and it doesn't devolve into the P word, politics. So I do get political, but not in the horse racy way. I don't care about red team, blue team. I don't care about electoral politics. You will not hear that on this channel, but you will hear about cultural things that are going on. BLM, Black Lives Matter, made a video about that. It's right on this channel. You can watch it, and I will have more to say, but in a way that starts conversations. I have my own perspective, but I respect people from all over the spectrum, left, right, up, down, center. I'm a therapist. I work with everybody, and I love everybody. And I want to create a space for conversations that generate more light than heat. Okay, so that is the thesis so far. That's a lot of things on the plate. In terms of that last one, you might see a video pretty soon if you haven't seen it already. Talking about that last one, but it's a big plate. And we'll see if I can pull it off. I have some people to thank. So I wanted to give a shout out, first of all, to my friend Liz Davison. I mentioned her before. Jeremy from Jambalaya Plays Games, really great dude. Peter and Mike and Colin and Steve from the One Stop Co-op Shop, they helped me get going in terms of the YouTube side and the video side, and they were really encouraging. They posted my original videos, helped me get better at it, and I just got the bug. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to start this channel. So thank you guys. I'd like to thank the people on the Dice Tower Network for putting me, Tom, and having faith in me to put me on his network. I'd like to thank Anthony Chatfield, my former co-host at Every Night's Game Night. Kind of ninja that solo podcast from you, but you were a great co-host. And hopefully we can kind of work together here too, Anthony and Chris over at Board Gamers Anonymous. I want to thank a lot of my listeners. I want to thank Sarah Bear. I want to thank Patrick Daffledude. I want to thank Kevin Erskine, maybe my most famous quote unquote regular listener, Morton Monrad Pedersen, who used to email me in response to certain episodes, and all the listeners who emailed, sent me geek mail, and said, when I paused the podcast, it was really loving, really encouraging, really inspiring. So I wanted to just take the time and do it right, and searched and figured it out, and I said, let's try YouTube and see where that goes. And I couldn't have done that without your inspiration. So I also want to thank Dan King. Dan King is the Game Boy Geek. He has the YouTube channel, the Game Boy Geek. He is working on 2.0, 2.0 of his channel. So he's rebooting it, bigger studio, more guests, more interaction with people. So he is definitely doing well. He helped me out with the tech side of things, give me suggestions for things to buy and software to download to make this look as good as possible. I recognize that I am not a wizard at all. There are many YouTubers who are ahead of me in this stuff, but I'm working on it, and I'm going to hopefully, get better and better, get some more people, help me out. So looking forward to that. I want to thank Ricardo Ferreira. He is the designer of my logo. And I think he did an amazing job with the logo itself and with the splash page, the banner, which is not done. We're still working on it. Kind of make it highlight the gamerness of the channel, but I love where we are at now, especially in terms of the sun. Sun is very special to me. It is a Taino sun. The Taino is the indigenous people who were on the island of Puerto Rico before the conquest. Used to be called Borinquen. And I wanted something that represented my heritage and the fact that I'm really proud to be a Puerto Rican and, present a different perspective in terms of the gaming space. Come at it from a different perspective. You heard it in the music, you heard it in the logo, or saw it in the logo, and I'm hoping to bring forward more of that perspective as I move on. So thank you, Ricardo. And there's one more. It's funny, I hesitate a little bit because he's in a little bit of hot water right now as I record this on August of 2020. But I want to thank Jamie Stegmeyer from Stonemaier Games. It's very real, the criticisms and the back and forth, and he acknowledges it as well. But I've never known him to be anything but kind and generous and, very interactive guy. He helped out with the beginning of the channel, helping me with support, resources, networking, and a little bit of equipment as well. Dedicated to doing so after the Black Lives Matter movement. He committed Stonemaier Games to helping out creators, not just like saying it, but actually walking the walk and getting his hands dirty and helping out. So good on you, Jamie. Thank you so much for helping out. All right, this video was long enough. I hope that you enjoyed the journey. I hope that you enjoyed this shelf story, and I'll see you next time. Later, everybody.